Hey there, this is David Elam from davidjelam.com, and today I just wanted to share with you some immensely powerful practice routines that I discovered that I just want to share with you, especially if you're a beginner guitar player. Now, if you're not a beginner, the things I'm going to share here today, you can still apply in any situation. You can apply to advanced situations for sure, but they're extremely powerful when you're a beginner because they're going to launch you into success so much faster. So I've been teaching guitar for about 15 years professionally, and I've taught literally hundreds of guitar students. But in the last about 8 months, I've seen my students progress faster than ever. And honestly, it's because of these powerful practice routines that I've taught them and that we've applied in lessons. Now, you're going to be able to apply this stuff in about 5 to 10 minutes and see massive results. I literally have my students come into lessons, sit down, and if they're struggling with something, in literally about 5 minutes, they are totally transformed in the way they're playing a song, so I'm going to share these techniques with you today, okay? So we all know whenever we're first learning to play guitar, we struggle switching the chords, okay? So you're learning a song and you're really struggling to find your way, and you know you have a hard time switching, and there's always that pause in between the chords, and we hate that pause because you're like, I just want to get to the next chord and I just want it to sound like a song already, right? So I'm going to show you how to get past that really fast, and it's going to be awesome, okay? So for today, I'm going to use some sample chords. So we're just going to use G, I'm going to use G, C, E minor, and D, okay? These are really simple chords. Most people have learned them in the beginning, but if you haven't, you can research them on the internet. I'll even include a link down below where you can download these chords, okay, if you don't know them already. So you can learn your first 4 chords today as well. All right, so first we're going to start with G. Now, there's basically just a few different steps we're going to run through. First, the first thing you want to do whenever you are practicing is you want to do what I call a muscle memory exercise, where you're just going to teach your brain how to play the chord better, okay? So whenever you're learning guitar, you're learning something that requires muscle, and so you're teaching your brain how to work your muscles to play the guitar. So we need some muscle memory exercises, really important, okay? So we're going to do something really simple. So like, let's take a G chord, for example, and all I want you to do is just hammer down on the chord, okay? So you can see I'm not strumming or anything, but this is what the G chord would sound like, right? Well, I'm gonna deaden that, and I'm just gonna press my fingers, okay? Not super hard, I don't want you to hurt your hand, but just firmly, okay? And it even helps to look at the guitar. Might feel a little bit silly, but it does. So, because you're registering with your brain where your fingers go, okay? We want to register that really firmly in our brain so that when we go to switch to the other chords, if we're switching to this chord from one chord, it's really easy to get there because we know, our fingers know what to do, okay? So we're just going to press on it like that, just hammer down, okay? And then, next I'll do a C chord, and so I'm going to go like this, boom, 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 alright? Okay, so G chord, and then C chord. And I'll just do each one 4 times, and I'll go back and forth like this, okay? So I'm just hammering down, I'm not worrying about strumming, I'm basically just hammering quarter notes, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then switching. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not going to hear a lot of sound right now. That's not really the point. We're just trying to memorize the shapes. This is so powerful, I promise. Okay? So, once you've got those two down, so like, let's say we're going, G, again, G, C, E minor, D. So we got the first two chords down, G, and then to C, right? And then you can practice going from C to E minor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And try to do it in a really steady rhythm. Okay? So that you want to eliminate those pauses. And it's actually best to practice with the metronome. So you can set a metronome at a really slow speed, like 40 beats per minute, 45 beats per minute, okay? And just practice like that at a consistent rate where you're comfortable. So don't try to push yourself too hard. Definitely push yourself, but not beyond what you're really comfortable with, okay? So, and then I can go, then next I'm going to go to a D chord. Alright, so I'll get all my fingers on there. Then I can go back and forth between the E minor and the D. Alright, you can use this with any chord progression. So just practice the different chord changes one at a time, okay? And do 4 beats on each chord, and then 4 beats, 4 beats on the next chord. So if I were going like from G to C, I'd just do 4 beats on G, then 4 beats on C, and just go back and forth like that, okay? And then if it's like there's another chord in the measure or the progression, then just continue through the progression, just practicing the changes like that, okay? So powerful. This muscle memory exercise has made like a huge difference for my students, okay? So again, you can use it with any chord. Then also, you don't have to always do 4 beats. It's helpful because it gives you a little bit of time to register the chord in your brain, okay? But you can also slowly practice going back and forth just one time on each chord. So like I could go G, C, G, C, G, C, like this, okay? Alright, so again, start out just hammering the chords. And if you need to, just do it a bunch of times on one chord. Just get really used to that one, okay? And try the next chord and so on. Then work up to 4 beats per chord. We're just getting used to the muscle memory. And then you can also do like 1 beat per chord. Alright? Then finally we're going to add our strumming hand and just strum through. You don't necessarily have to use a strumming pattern. You can just strum quarter notes, just something really simple, but just to help you start to practice the changes and see how they sound. So then we'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And we want to eliminate any kind of pauses in there. So again, it helps to do it with the metronome. Just set it at a really slow pace. If anything, just try to keep the same pace, okay? Okay. The next really powerful trick or hack is after you have these chords down pretty well, it's time to begin practicing with a strumming pattern or practicing, just strumming it 4 times or however the song goes, and eliminating those pauses. So what I want you to do after you've got the chords down pretty well, so you might spend a few days, like 2 or 3 days, just on practicing the muscle memory, okay? But you might also see results in like 5 minutes where you're just like, wow, I can do this, this is amazing, and I see that a lot, okay? But the next thing is try to change the chord I should say, keep your strumming hand moving as you change the chords, even if your fretting hand doesn't get there right away, even if it's not perfect. So for example, let's say I'm going from G to C, and when I get to the C, when it comes time to switch, I'm not quite there, but almost. I just want to keep strumming through that so that I begin to eliminate that pause and take it out of my brain. And what happens is a lot of times we actually practice the pauses, and our brain gets used to that, and so we've got to push ourselves. So we want to go like this. So let's say I have a hard time getting there. I just keep strumming. Okay, I'm going to get there eventually. And then back to G. Okay, it takes me a second, but that's alright. Okay, but just keep going, and then eventually I'm going to speed up, and it's not going to be an issue anymore. I'll be able to switch very fluidly. Okay, so again, keep your strumming hand moving, whether you're right or left-handed, whatever your strumming hand is. Keep that moving as you change the chords, and eliminate that pause. Okay, so make sure you're not practicing the pause, and eliminate that out of your brain. Even if your fretting hand, the hand that you play the chords with, is not perfect, still continue strumming. Your fretting hand is going to catch up, and you'll find you actually know the chords probably better than you thought you did. Okay, but because you've been practicing those pauses, which we always do in the beginning, it's kind of it's slowed you down. Okay, so you wanna get past that. Once you can do it like with a really just simple quarter notes, then begin to add some kind of strumming pattern. Okay, and try to just listen to the music and strum along. If you don't know any strumming patterns, I'll be posting some on YouTube soon, so just look for that video. Okay. By the time you watch this, it'll probably already be up anyway. Alright, so but that is how you do a really powerful practice routine if you're a beginner. Just work on those chords, okay? Work on switching. Start with your muscle memory exercise. And just switching the chords without the pause. If you have to do a little bit of a pause, that's normal, that's natural. You just want to gradually kind of eliminate that out. And then once you can switch it pretty well, then begin to strum. And even if you can't get to the next chord perfectly, just keep strumming, and you'll get there eventually. And just slowly again eliminate that pause. Now start really slow, okay? So don't try to do this too fast. We're not going to go. Okay, don't try to do that. Start slow, like give yourself time, but again, you can run through this whole little exercise in about 5 minutes, and it will save you hours and hours of practice. I see people struggle with this all the time, and literally my students, they're able to pick it up like this, when they're beginners, because of running through a practice routine like this. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a comment below. I will definitely be reading those, and I'll gladly get back to you. And if you have any questions, any doubts, I'll do my best to clarify anything for you. So God bless you guys. Okay, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to check out the free resources on my blog, davidjelam.com. I've got a blog actually about this, so it's in written form, so you can actually go there and check that out. And I'll include a link in the show notes here down below. So anyway, you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.